Hello, and welcome to Smooth Screen. That's what I want to call it. I just saw that joke from Bakertown in there, and given that new opening we've got, that's I think James has been working very hard on. I have to say that music is very relaxing. It's good. I like that music. I like it a lot. Evening, everybody, or afternoon. Well, for me, it's the evening. I hope you guys are doing very well, and welcome to Small Screen Live. We've got lots and lots of stuff to talk about today. We've got things like Bob Chapek to talk about. We've got Disney stuff. We've got Christopher Lloyd Mandalorian news to talk about. We've got some Daredevil news to talk about. We've got so much stuff, and we're going to go all over it all this evening. I've got James with me tonight. Clint's working this evening, unfortunately, so we can't have Clint on the show. There he is. And I wasn't here last week. I was on holiday, so I'm back, which is nice. So there was I think there's a pretty long stream you guys did last week, which I wasn't on, but I was watching it in a log cabin. I hope you guys are all doing very well. Who do we have in the chat? We have Jedi Master EJ saying hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. How you doing, Jedi Master EJ? Who else do we have? We have at my son's track meet today. I'll try and jump back in the chat when he's finished up, if you guys are still streaming. If not, I'll catch you all on the replay. Have a great show, guys. Thank you very much, Jedi Master EJ, and I hope your son does very well in track. I believe that's running, right? That's running.
Yeah.
Cool. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Chrysler saying almost dinner time. Looks like it'll be a knuckle supper.
Call it, Sanchez, or you'll get a knuckle supper.
Very good. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Anita Singh saying, excuse me, what ID this? Small screen. What is this? Yes, well, it's small screen. Hi. It's the internet. Yeah, James is right. It is the internet. That's what this is. We talk about pop culture and stuff. So if you do like it, stick around, like and subscribe. That'd be great if you could do that as well. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Chrysler again saying, I like the thumbnail, especially the left side that shows Vader without his helmet. Very good. That is, of course, Bob Chapek. And my camera is playing up again, which is fine. I need a new one. Right, who else? Who else do we have? We have Bakertown saying aloha. How are you doing, Bakertown? Maybe we'll have you on this evening if you're game. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'll send an invite.
Yeah. And he also, I think he came up. He originally came up with that smooth screen joke. There it is. I see we have smooth screen today. That's a tough one to say. Going to be honest. And then we have Danzig 1979. Hello, Danzig. I hope you're doing well. He just says evening. Evening, Danzig. I believe you're in the UK, so it is evening for you around 10 o'clock. I hope you're doing very well. I hope your Saturday went well, and I hope you have a lovely Sunday. Right, who else do we have? I think that's about it. Anita says hello.
Cocainum.
So hello, Anita. I hope you're doing well. Right, who else do we have? Got quite a few commenters. Reese75 is in the chat. Reese, how you doing, man? Says cocainum. I'm waiting for something.
Did you not? I just played it. You talked over it. It was weird. Yeah, I think
it didn't play for me. Oh, that's weird.
I'll play Reese's one with your face.
Yeah, these aren't playing for me. I'm not getting anything coming up. That's weird. Maybe StreamYard's broken. Anyway, well, that one works. Yeah, that's strange. Who else? We've got Danzig 1979 saying.
Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства? Cocainum.
I'll never get used to that. Danzig 1979 says cross country, as you would say in the UK. Oh, that's what track is. Okay.
That's what we say in Canada.
Yeah, well, you say everything like the English do in Canada.
You cool. Mean the English say everything like Canada?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And Anita just says hello and then says it's night in India. Well, I hope you have a very good night, Anita. Right. And then Reese says, I'm trying to watch the Eddie Hall fight, but the stream is a pile of crap. Eddie Hall, who's that? Is that something I should be made aware of? I don't know. I'm not really into fighting.
I think it's like some sports.
Is it like
thing.
a boxer, like maybe UFC? Maybe
probably UFC.
Probably UFC. Right, we have Falling Elevated says any Midnight Suns updates. Oscar Isaac mentioned in an interview that he can't wait to work with Blade, Daredevil, Punisher, and Ghost Rider. Yeah, the Midnight Suns. It's been rumored for quite some time that Midnight Suns is coming, and
it won't be for a few years though.
Yeah,
they got to lay the foundation like they did with Avengers.
Yeah, so it's something that we will probably see in one of the next upcoming phases of the MCU. It won't be for like at least another 2 phases maybe. But they're definitely laying the groundwork. You know, you've got Blade coming, you've got the Daredevil reboot that's coming, which we'll talk about in a bit. You've got Moon Knight, of course, and Punisher as well. There's a series coming for Punisher we revealed that a while ago now. And Ghost Rider, I don't know what they're doing with Ghost Rider. I'm pretty sure they'll bring in Ghost Rider at some point, but
Norman Reedus.
You reckon it's going to be Norman Reedus? Maybe. Who knows? I'm not so sure about that one, but yeah. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something with Midnight Suns. That's going to be fun. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Vodka Soda saying, "Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up to you, Vodka Soda? I hope you're doing very well. I hope it's non-Russian vodka you're drinking." And Danzig says, "Props to Arnie this week." Yes, props to Arnie this week. That was a really lovely message he put out there. Very personal one. I don't know if you saw that, James. Pretty sure you did, being #1 Arnie fan.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a good one. It was it was interesting to get his take on what's going on in the world as well, and just know a bit more about his backstory, which you probably knew about. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, I saw one comment on Twitter on the video saying that the boxer or was it I think the weightlifter or the box, whatever, the guy he was talking about, the guy said, "Oh, he wasn't from Ukraine, he was from Russia."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "No, it was the USSR at the time." Right?
Yeah, it was the USSR.
Russia, but he was actually from Ukraine territory. Yeah. And that was the whole point. Like, he's a legend. He's just a legend.
Yeah. He is a legend. Right. Should we just... Oh, sorry. Eddie Hall is the world's strongest man. He's fighting the Mountain from Game of Thrones. Wow. I did not know that was happening. That is something that probably is that... I mean, it's a shame that the stream's rubbish, if that's the case, because that sounds like a really good fight. God, I'd love to watch that. I'm doing this though, and hopefully you can stay and watch us and not watch that fight. The stream's rubbish, guys. Stay here. Right, what should we talk about first, James? I think we've done all the comments. I think. Yeah, we got. So James is going to be bringing up some articles. Ooh, oh God, is that so? That's the Mountain. Is he? Wait, is that that's okay?
That's Eddie Hall. Yeah.
Is that Eddie Hall? Because I was thinking, is that which one's which? Because the body's quite different. I'm going to be honest. He's obviously piled on the pounds in one of those. I'm not fat shaming, but he looks massive in both. To be honest, I would not want to be fighting this guy. That is ridiculous. You're bringing up stuff that I didn't know. I didn't think.
Did you hear about this? Did you?
No.
I just had to bring it up.
There's
a Play-Doh animated movie in the works.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah. Next one up will be Operation.
With Emily V. Gordon and John M. Chu. John M. Chu, wasn't he? He was the director of Crazy Rich Asians, wasn't he? I believe. I'm pretty sure he was. He's either the director of Crazy Rich Asians or he's the producer. I thought John M. Chu was the... Yeah, I'm pretty sure John M. Chu is the is the director of Crazy Rich Asians. Emily V. Gordon, I don't know who that is. She's a screenwriter. I don't know what she's done. You've really thrown this on me, James, because I have.
She's
don't
done
know.
the Big Sick, Little America,
Oh, that was good.
the Meltdown,
Oh,
Indoor Kids.
so Emily V. Gordon is the one. She's the wife? Is
Yeah, of
Kumail Nanjiani's wife?
yes.
Ah, okay. That could be good.
It's a Play-Doh movie.
It's a play. I mean, it'd be good if they make it stop motion. If they make a Play-Doh movie that's stop motion, like the Aardman films, that would be pretty cool. That's something. The villain is a kid that eats Play-Doh. Now that maybe you should write the script. The silly putty people just got triggered. Oh dear. But yeah, that's an interesting story. I wish you told me about it before, because I could have done some research into it.
Are we gonna get some hungry hippos next? Jesus, man.
Well, like they've done what they did the Lego movie. They did the was it the Duplo?
That was a thing at some point, wasn't it?
There was that movie that they did with Haley Steinfeld. And I can't for the life of me remember what, like, it was definitely like it was like I think it was Duplo. But it's like they're just, now there's one movie, like, I used to play with toys called Kinects when I was a kid, which like
don't Google Haley Steinfeld Duplo.
Do
that.
Why?
Do not do that. Do not do that.
What comes up?
You don't. It's not safe for work.
Oh dear. I thought it was a Duplo movie. Isn't Duplo the like bigger version of Lego?
Yeah, like the knockoff.
I thought it
Lego movie.
Or was it Playmobil?
That's what it was. It's Playmobil.
It was a Playmobil movie. I thought Duplo was maybe that's the name of the brand that makes Playmobil.
I don't know. I just think it's
sorry, Duplo is the baby Lego.
Yeah,
that's what it is. What I want to see what comes up.
Oh jeez. Falling Elevated. Any chance the Entitled Space Project could be a space buddy comedy about Nova and Darkhawk? I see it being something about Nova.
What is? Oh man, this is
Stop it! Don't even bring attention to it. Yeah, I think it'll be a Nova movie. I don't know if it'll be a buddy. Actually, it could be either Nova or Darkhawk. I don't think it'll be a buddy comedy, but one of them will probably appear in the other's movie. So if it's a Nova movie, Darkhawk will be in it, or if it's a Darkhawk movie, Nova will be in it. Because they just cast Darkhawk. It's unofficial right now, but there should be announcements the next month or two.
So the most recent Marvel casting we've had was the British actor that's playing. God, what's the name of the character he's playing? He's in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm forgetting his name and the name of the character. Will Poulter playing Adam Warlock. He's like the last name that's been added to the MCU. Since him, they haven't had any big
that was official
announcements. Yeah, that's official.
Yeah. Well, everyone's saying Anna Taylor-Joy is in like being cast in every Marvel movie.
Well, Anya Taylor-Joy's already been in a Marvel movie. She was in the New Mutants. That was terrible.
Like in the MCU.
Yeah, I don't. What was the one that they said recently? I think it was.
I think it was Madam Web.
Madam Web was Dakota Johnson. She was cast as Madam Web, which I think is actually quite interesting casting. Oh, is it Black Cat? Her name tends to come up for Black Cat a lot. And then I'm pretty sure if I
Johan?
I'm pretty sure if I type this in on Giant Freaking Robot.
Yeah, I think they're the ones that reported it.
Something's going to come up. Actually, no. There's the Craven the Hunter news, and there was an actor in there, wasn't Alessandro Nivola?
Yeah,
Cast-
Chris
cast-
was right. And then Harley Quinn was another one that they reported for.
What? Wait, who reported for Harley Quinn?
I think it was GFR.
What did they say for Harley Quinn? I haven't
me
been
look,
paying
let me look.
attention.
Exclusive Anya Taylor-Joy in talks for Harley Quinn.
But they already have a Harley Quinn.
I know.
Seriously, man.
No, I don't want these.
No
No way.
Oh, come on. Really?
Who is this? This is Doug Norrie.
It's Dog Norrie, yeah.
He's the one that James Gunn blasted.
It's yeah, I have to say sometimes I'm a bit like they throw a lot of stuff out there, don't they? GFR.
Well, it kind
fu-
of sucks when like if we'll report something from them on small screen,
Mm.
then they'll say that we confirmed it.
Yeah, they
that
have
we're
the whole
just reporting on it.
they have the whole confirmed thing, which I think's hilarious.
The Man-Thing project in development, Marvel, our scoop confirmed.
Who confirmed that? Nobody confirmed that Man-Thing is in development. Literally nobody's Screen Geek.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I mean, like, Geekosity reported that over a year ago.
I haven't heard anything about a Man-Thing project. And Joe Manganiello returning as Deathstroke for
That's
DC.
because he changed his profile picture on Twitter, isn't it?
That's not happening.
So, but because he changed his profile picture, that means their scoop got confirmed.
God.
Or it's a question mark, so they can get away with it.
Patrick, I mean, yeah, they I saw that they were really leaning on that one, and I was like, dude, everyone said that.
Yeah,
like everyone was saying that Patrick Stewart was coming back in Doctor Strange 2.
And Mikey said it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then Bruce Campbell, okay, like yeah, that was literally a no-brainer. The guy was on set.
Yeah.
What the other one? The BioShock movie one. I remember when that one came out because they literally published their article, I think about 5 minutes after the article was published on Deadline.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain that they were hoping that people wouldn't see that.
I don't know, but sometimes like, you know, articles will wait in a draft for like half a day, right?
Yeah, and I mean maybe
it happens with us or with Geekosity. So.
With the BioShock one, it was a bit that was really out of left field for Netflix. I have to say that the fact that they're doing, is it a movie they're doing? I can't even remember now. Yeah.
Oh, Squid Game season 2 exclusive.
That was us, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
I think they were like we confirmed their exclusive. I was like, all right, fine. That's funny. But it's the thing with GFR is actually I quite like the site. I like the way it looks. I do like the way it looks. It's nice and big and easy to read. And you know, fair dues to them. Like, you know, they're doing their thing. I would take a lot of what GFR says with a nice little sprinkling of salt, but they put a lot of stuff out there. Some of it will be right, some of it won't. They have more question marks than the Riddler. Oh dear, that's funny.
What's up, Sean?
Sean Harrigan, how you doing? Right, should we talk about this then? Christopher Lloyd. The great Christopher Lloyd. If you've
Great Scott.
Yes, Great Scott. You've probably watched Christopher Lloyd in movies like the Back to the Future trilogy. He was in that. He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was also recently. He was
Nobody.
He was in Nobody as well. That was that was nice to see him in that, I have to say. But Christopher Lloyd's career, I was looking at his filmography. It's really weird. Ever since he was in Back to the Future, and even before, he literally just does a heck of a lot of B movies, which are like low budget kind of movies that don't get watched a lot.
He was in a really good cult classic.
Which one?
No matter where you go, there you are.
That's not him, is it?
No, that's Peter Weller, but he's in
Peter
Buck
Weller.
Banzai.
Ah, I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he plays an alien.
Well,
bring up
very
his picture.
very good casting. He'd be great for it. The thing with Christopher Lloyd that's always like he could literally still play the character. I can't remember the name of the character he plays in off the top of my head in Back to the Future. He look so yeah, Doc Brown. He still looks the kind of same, or he looks more like how Doc Brown probably should have looked, because they really aged him up for that movie, didn't they? For all those movies, because he was actually not that old when he played Doc Brown.
No.
So he's an interesting actor in the sense that I actually think he's really good. He's a bit zany. He's a bit he likes to do his comedies, and he's very
an international treasure. Not
Yeah.
like Ray Winstone. He's an actual international treasure.
He's someone that will be he's like kind of cinematic. He's an icon in cinema terms. Just by playing Doc Brown, but also I love his character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's the villain in that, and he's so good.
Yes,
but I'm not sure who he's going to be playing in The Mandalorian season 3. I think it was the Hollywood Reporter that revealed this, and they actually said that they didn't know who he'd been cast as. I would like to see him play a villain. I think he'd be good at that. I don't know if he is. He's probably going to be like some sort of wacky, like inventor. They might go down that route.
Maybe he's like a splicer, or like like those kids that drive the Vespas. It's going to be one of those scientists. Yeah, and he is forever Jim from Taxi. That is correct, Chrysler.
Yeah, but I was looking through his filmography. And I was like, God, I haven't seen any of these movies that he's been doing in like the last, since like the 1990s. It's a lot of almost straight to video stuff he does. And it's a bit of a shame because I think he's such a great actor. Maybe he just likes doing that sort of stuff. Maybe that's his shtick, and he likes being in that environment. He feels comfortable there.
Well, yeah, he kind of has the mentality of a character actor.
Yeah,
because he doesn't really need the money after Back to the Future.
You don't think?
I don't think so. Unless he's got like 8 wives.
I don't know how many wives he has. Look, I'm pretty sure Wikipedia will tell you. But he has. Oh my God, he's had so many.
Yeah, it's 238 roles, 239 roles, and he does a lot. Oh, what is this?
He's had 5 wives. He's had 5 wives. He's married now. He's had 5 wives.
Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal, the TV movie, 2016.
Yeah, you see, he's done a lot of crap like that.
He played as Doc Brown. Granite Flats. He was Professor Hargraves. Yeah,
DuckTales the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
A Million Ways to Die in the West. He played Doc Brown.
Did he play the same character? Okay, so he turns up as the same character quite a lot.
Piranha 3 Double D.
Yeah, I know he was in that. Yeah, but it's a lot of crap. I'm gonna be honest. It's like,
money, I guess, right?
I think he needs it.
If he's and then that's it. It's like what Bruce Willis is doing now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a lot like what Bruce Willis is doing now, but it's kind of a bit sad because I really do think these actors. I think he's good. I think
he was in the new 12 Monkeys TV series. I didn't know that.
He was. It didn't last very long.
No.
Yeah, he did a lot. He did a lot. He's done a lot of stuff on TV. He was in The Tick, I think. He was in the pilot episode, so he wasn't in that much.
And Ben Affleck's new film that came out, The Tender Bar.
Yes, that's the Tender Bar. The Tender Bar is one of the biggest things he's done in a while, actually, and everything else has kind of been straight to DVD, which is a shame. Donald Trump, The Art of the Deal, the movie. God, what is that?
He was the Klingon in Search for Spock. He was great Klingon,
and. Yeah, he was in The Search for Spock, and the thing he was in recently that I thought was perfect casting was he kind of did a trailer, didn't he, for Rick and Morty?
Yes, yeah.
He was the live action version of Rick, which is perfect. I think that's perfect casting. Yeah,
Our man confirmed.
Yeah, there we go. Johan brings up a good point. He says it reminds me a bit of the career of Malcolm McDowell. That's true. Malcolm McDowell is one of these actors, very similar kind of really like he was in probably one of the most iconic movies of all time in A Clockwork Orange. Brilliant in that movie. And then is just in a lot of crap after that. Like he was actually in a movie that I really TV show that I loved actually called Truth Seekers, which is a show.
He was in that with the Nick Frost.
With Nick Frost. I really like that show. Unfortunately got cancelled after just one season.
He was in Star Trek Generations. He played Sauron.
I didn't know. I have never watched Star Trek Generations. My Star Trek knowledge is basically just nothing. It's like the movies, the J.J. Abrams movies, and then
You're fired.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to bring that one up. I watched Star Trek Discovery and thought it was really bad. I watched Star Trek Picard and thought it was really bad. I liked the J.J. Abrams movies. I thought they were fun. I liked
J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
They basically are Star Wars. But I did like. I have to say, Star Trek now. Well, actually, I suppose we could talk a little bit about that. Picard is ending with season 3.
Yep.
I actually, when I wrote that article, I was thinking, what did you think of this? Actually, I didn't write that. I think Martin wrote that article, maybe. But because you are being like a massive Star Trek fan, I wanted to know what you thought and what could that mean for the future of Star Trek with these TV shows that are coming from people that apparently don't love the franchise as much as they should.
I started watching Next Generation again last week. I'm in season 2 now. I watched like an episode before I go to bed or something, and I tried to watch last night. I tried to watch the new episode of Picard season 3. I got like halfway through it.
Is it season 3 now?
Sorry, season 2, episode 3, season 2, and I got halfway through, and I'm like, oh, I'll finish it later. It's not really holding my attention.
It doesn't grab you.
No, especially. And I had this conversation with Clint last week where it's like we only got like a small glimpse of Patrick Stewart playing Picard. You know, the authoritative kind of like, yeah, he's down to earth and he's got a good personality and he can be charming, but at the same time, he's very authoritative. But in this show, it's just like he just looks worried or very, very happy. And I know he's an old man, but he's got to tap into that when he's on these space missions, you know? He's going back in time right now with the Borg Queen. Sorry for spoilers, but it's just you think he'd be a little bit more serious. I don't know. Yeah. It's not. So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to bank on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds that's coming out.
So is that the one that's going to have a younger version of?
Well, it starts with Christopher Pike, the first captain of the Enterprise, and then it'll transition to Captain Kirk, and then they'll recast probably Spock and Bones and stuff.
Is that the one with Anson Mount or whatever his name is?
Anson Mount is Christopher Pike, yeah. But I think I'm so behind in the Strange New Worlds because it just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden they started casting. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, there is a new James T. Kirk. I'll bring it up for you.
It's a bit weird what they're doing. I think this.
They don't really know that Paramount hasn't known what to do with Star Trek for a long time.
There it is.
But I think like ending it is okay. I think ending season 3 is okay.
I'm not sure if did we cover. I don't think we covered that news.
Oh no,
I don't think so.
All right,
that's something we did not cover. We don't got that covered. There you go. There's another outlet that might have it.
Yeah, this guy.
Who is that? Who is that guy? Paul Wesley.
Paul Wesley. Yeah. So. Yeah, someone was saying on Twitter like, don't cast Scoot McNairy.
What as Bones?
Yeah.
Why? Because I like Scoot McNairy. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, so do I. So I don't know, but I think it's good to end it. You know, Patrick Stewart is getting older, and I think the problem is like when he agreed to sign on, they threw a bunch of money out of him, and he said he wanted to input with the character and the writing too. So, and I wish they like brought in,
the original writers.
Yeah, at least like I can't believe I'm going to say this, but like Brandon Braga or Rick Berman, you know, but instead. So I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about it. I didn't know how to feel about it after season 1. Alas, I'll find out at the end of the season how I feel. I mean, the second episode was better. It ended on a cliffhanger. I'm like, okay, it's picking up, and then it just kind of went downhill again at the start of the third episode.
Yeah, it's a shame. Oh shit, what's his name? The director that did Clerks. What's
Kevin
the name?
Smith?
Kevin Smith, that's his name. The show that he does, the podcast that he does it with a guy that's also a writer.
Yeah,
I think. So I think I have a vague recollection of him saying that he worked on Star Trek Discovery, like he helped write Star Trek Discovery, or maybe
Mark
it was
Bernardin.
I think that's his name.
Let's see.
And he said that he ended up having to leave because it was such a terrible experience.
I bet he was. He's a producer on Star Trek Picard.
Is he
2 episodes?
Yeah.
Penance and the Stargazer. So I think the Stargazer was the first episode.
I think it might have been it was one of the Star Trek shows he was involved with. And
he's not even listed as a writer on Discovery.
Maybe it was Picard.
No, you're probably right. It was Discovery, and then he just didn't want to put on his IMDb.
Yeah.
So.
And he just it was I think it was a very bad experience for him. Saying that the writers' room was just nuts and they weren't people that really cared about Star Trek.
No, that's unfortunate. Thank you, Danzig. Yes, like, sub, and quack that notification bell.
Yes, do all of that. Thank you. Shall we move on to another story?
Yeah.
What do we have next? What's on the docket?
That one.
We've done that one. This one, the Daredevil reboot. Yes. So there's been some snooping going on into this show. The interesting thing about this is it's basically been confirmed because a new production company has been set up. Now the company, was it called Blind Productions or something like that?
Yeah, Blind Fear or something.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head what the. I think it was at the top of the article that I wrote about that bit. No, maybe not that one. Is this the R-rated one? No, this is another article that I did. It should be at the bottom then of this article about the actual reboot.
I believe it is Blind Fear, though. Yeah,
it's something like that, isn't it? And then basically a listing for it went up on Production Weekly, so it's pretty much nailed on that they're doing something with Daredevil. Now, a lot of people are calling it a reboot. We still don't know whether this is actually going to be a reboot or a continuation of the Netflix series. It could very well be Daredevil season 4. The thing is that I don't think that Marvel will want to carry on that show. I think they'll probably want to just restart the character for the MCU specifically. But then there was this article from Geekosity saying that this show is still going to be R-rated. Or will be R-rated and will be in the same kind of have the same violent tone as the original Netflix series did,
which I don't think anyone doubted, and we did.
Yeah,
we reported that in the Punisher video.
Yeah,
that one there.
There you go. That's the video. Interestingly enough, yeah, Blind Faith Productions. That's the name. So it's which Marvel character is blind? Daredevil. And there's a lot of I do believe in the comics there's a lot of talk about faith, isn't there?
Yeah, especially Kevin Smith's run.
Yeah. So that's pretty much nailed on that production company will be working on Daredevil stuff. Charlie Cox is pretty much nailed on to return. We recently saw him as Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home, so he's back as Daredevil. Kevin Feige even said if we ever use Daredevil again, it will be Charlie Cox playing the character.
Yeah.
I think this show is going to be the show that brings a lot of the characters back, a lot of the actors back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the likes of Deborah Ann Woll come back as Karen Page. Kristen Ritter could also come back as Jessica Jones. I'm not sure if she will in that show. She might get to do her own thing. And yes, as this article shows, Kristen Ritter calls Jessica Jones Disney's newest Disney princess, which is nice. And yes, she said this on Instagram. So do go and watch the show. All the Netflix Marvel shows are now on Disney Plus. They're not in 4K yet. They're in standard definition and HD. Apparently, the 4K versions are coming later on. So, I wanted to know what you thought. Like, do you think these shows are going to be really R-rated and they're going to put them on Disney Plus Star, or do you think they're going to kind of do a PG-13 version, which is what they've kind of done in the past, and they seem to be doing a bit with Moon Knight, and just put them on Disney Plus, straight on Disney Plus? What do you think?
I think it's gonna be about the same tone as Netflix.
Yeah,
I think it'll be like straddling the line between PG-13 and R. You know,
yeah.
I think they'll probably save like a hard R for the Punisher. Because Daredevil doesn't really need to be like super hard R. It's more of like a noir story with some like the cool hallway fight scenes and the prison fight scene and all that stuff. That can still be done between PG-13 and rated R. I don't think it's going to be like too violent. I mean, it'll be violent, but it's not going to be absolutely insane. You know, it's not going to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. But I mean, like Curtis just said, Disney Plus just updated its terms and had me put in a code for mature content. So did you rage about that with all the other parents there at Bakertown? Or are you cool with it? Let us know in the comments.
I thought that was so silly.
Yeah.
The whole letter that they sent, I was like, really, guys? Are you really gonna do this? Like, I do think the way it is in Europe is better, and also in Canada. I think the fact they have Disney Plus Star in Disney Plus, it means that it gives you that extra level of security. If you are a parent, where you know that everything that is not safe for your children to watch is in a password protected area on Disney Plus.
Right.
It's silly that they don't do that in the US, and it is annoying that they've kind of put themselves in this situation by continuing Hulu, basically, and kind of that I always thought they should have just put them all in one big package. I think the problem is they can't have Hulu outside of the United States.
Yeah, I don't think Hulu's going to last very long.
Yeah, I think they might drop Hulu. I'm going to be honest. I think they might drop Hulu and just put it all. Maybe they might have like an FX area, because Hulu is also FX.
Yeah, but they dropped the FX label, didn't they? Recently?
They shouldn't have dropped it. That's the thing. I think FX is a stronger brand
than Hulu.
Than Hulu.
Yeah.
And I think they should have just had, rather than call it Star on Disney Plus, just call it FX. Just put everything that's like R-rated on FX. Even the fact that there's an X in it makes you think, oh, this might not be too good for kids to watch. You know, it's like the X-rated content almost. Stuff which is higher than R-rated, isn't it, in America? X-rated, I think. But the problem is that they have all this content now that they've acquired 20th Century Fox, now called 20th Century Studios. They have all this great, like all these great movies that 20th Century Fox made over the years. I'm loving watching, like rewatching all the Alien films, for instance, on Disney Plus Star in France. In America, it's a lot more complicated. Like those movies aren't on Disney Plus in the United States. I think they put them on Hulu. I think, which is another subscription.
Well, the thing is, Comcast is putting all their resources into Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
to Peacock now.
Peacock.
And I think once Comcast drops out of Hulu, or if Disney buys them out, then Disney will just fold it into Disney Plus, the Star, because they're paying for upkeep, they're paying for advertising. It's Hulu is 12% of their annual income for streaming, but they can easily adjust that. And unfortunately, with like layoffs or like consolidating the staff into Star, right? They have the infrastructure on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
Dan makes a good point too. There's worse things on YouTube for kids to see, and the parental controls are laughable.
Yeah. They are. And all of these like in, for instance, Netflix has Netflix Kids, but it's pretty easy for a child to go onto their parents what's it called, the profiles. That's really not that tough. And it's kind of there. All these Amazon Prime is probably the worst one, actually. There are no like password protection things on Amazon Prime. You could just watch whatever the hell you want. I get it, it's a bit of a nightmare for parents, but then again, if you're a parent, then probably you shouldn't be putting your kid in front of like Disney Plus for hours and just using it as a babysitter. Like I know I know that it's not easy. I have friends that have kids, and yes, the whole conversation of, do we let them watch content and stuff, movies and TV shows, and it's a big conversation that you have. I think it's really, these companies can't be held accountable. It's your kid. You should be monitoring what your kid is watching and not watching. And then you being like, oh, it's not fair that this mature content's on Disney Plus is a bit ridiculous. If these kids are watching this stuff, that's not Disney Plus or Netflix or whoever's fault. That is your fault. You should not be letting them watch that. You should have some sort of control over what your kids watch and don't watch.
When I read that, it just reminded me of like when they were protesting Dogma, Kevin Smith's Dogma.
Yeah.
Movie.
Oh God.
But I just laughed because he went and joined the protests. That's the best.
Oh, apparently Danzig said there are parental controls for Prime. I use Prime, Amazon Prime. Maybe I need to activate them or something. I don't have a kid, so I don't need to activate them. But if I didn't know that they had that. They all have them. That's the thing. They all have them there. Parents just often don't know how to use them. If you give your kid, I know the kids now have to use like iPads and stuff for school and things like that, but there are ways to stop your children from going on. You can block certain sites and stuff, and do all sorts of things. Unfortunately, I think that doing that sort of stuff just makes them want it more.
Temptation.
It is temptation. I don't know. It's not an easy. It's not an easy conversation. It's not an easy thing, but again, you can't really get angry with these companies for putting adult
because
content.
If they don't, then they're going to have backlash for not doing that and lawsuits and all that crap.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to chill when it's done.
This is the thing. I really like the way the French are with this sort of thing. They don't care. Like the ratings
in Canada.
The rating system in France is hilarious. It's like everything is tout public, which is like all public, unless it's like really bad, then it's a 12. And it's a 12, and then if it's really, really bad, it's a 16. And it's like I think there is an 18 as well rating, but it's like never used. Everything's either tout public, very occasionally 12, or even rarer is a 16, and they just don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like I used to go and see movies that I probably shouldn't have seen in France when I was like 10, 11 at the cinema, and they did not care. Probably because it's not in French, like it's in English, so they don't give a shit. They'll let you see anything. But I'm just looking at Johan saying it sounds weird to have Pam and Tommy on Disney Plus in France. It's on Disney Plus Star.
Yeah.
Which I think it is in Canada as well.
I don't know. My mom used to wake me up when I was like 10 years old and 1 a.m, like, you got to watch this movie. And it was like Monty Python, the Holy Grail, or it was
My dad was
Blazing Saddles by Mel Gibson.
Not Mel Gibson, Mel something.
I just lost all credibility on myself.
Something
Mel
Brooks. That's it.
Yeah. I had Mel Blanc in my head for some reason. But yeah, she used to wake me up and And then like the horror movies I really had no interest in, you know,
Mm.
and I don't know, and most of the films that were aimed at kids had a bunch of adult stuff in it anyways. And
Yeah,
they
like if you
still did in
watched,
the like 2000s and 2010s. So
I mean, if you watch like a lot of the Disney animated movies from like the
Oh,
original
yeah.
Walt Disney animated movies, there's some dark stuff in those movies, and it really does see, especially with Encanto coming. I don't know if you've watched Encanto,
yeah,
but that is there are some dark scenes in that movie, and I actually really love that film. By the way, I think it's
well,
great.
Snow
But
White and Bambi had some
Snow
dark
White,
scenes.
yeah.
And, I mean, if you like Gremlins,
Yeah, Gremlins.
Indiana Jones, man.
Indiana
Like
Jones. That's it.
slave children, and like this guy's heart gets ripped out, and then the people's faces
Ooh.
get melted, right?
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of the Temple of Doom.
Yes, my mom is awesome, and I gotta. First of all, hi Bobby.
Hi Bobby.
Thank you for joining. I watched Brotherhood of the Wolf at age 13. Movie was limited 16, I think. Either there wasn't much control or I looked older. Was great anyways. Yes. Okay, so I was actually, it's funny because last night I was looking up Brotherhood of the Wolf because I hadn't seen it in a while and I wanted to watch it. Have you seen it, Edward?
I haven't seen it, no.
Oh man. It's back in Ontario. Me and my friend Teese, we were just downtown and we saw a movie poster for Brotherhood of the Wolf in small theaters. So we went in and we walked in and we sit down, and then it's a bunch of Victorian guys sitting at a table just discussing stuff, and we're like, what is this? Is some stuffy like French film? Like
I was gonna say it's got a ridiculously good cast.
And then all of a sudden it turns into this action film that had shades of like an anime movie to it and everything, and we we're just blown away. We went in blind. Don't look up anything, Edward. You want to go in blind?
No. I know what this film is. I know it in the French title, Le Pacte des Loups. Yeah, okay, I do know this.
But we went in blind, and it's one of my favorite surprises I've ever experienced in a film. That's why I'm so like when I see a movie that interests me, I want to go in blind. And that experience, just I didn't realize what I was getting myself into, and so I was looking it up, and to find decent movies. Foreign movies on streaming services is a pain in the butt here. They get proper subtitles. Thankfully, TiVo from Lord's Lawn Box told me about Haya, so I can watch all my Donnie Yen films and all my Hong Kong action flicks with actually very good subtitles. That's a good channel on Amazon Prime. But yeah, same with Ravenous too, Danzig. That was another film for me that surprised. I love those kind of films.
I have to. The film was directed by a guy called Christophe Gans, who is. He is insane.
Yes,
he is genuinely insane. He is directed. I haven't actually seen Brotherhood of the Wolf, but I do know about it because I listened to a whole podcast about it. So I know I listened to a podcast all about his movies. So he directed Silent Hill, was the film that he directed that I have watched, which I think is insane, but also really really underrated, that movie. And he also directed the best version of Beauty and the Beast, like live action version of Beauty and the Beast, with Vincent Cassel and Léa Seydoux. So I need to watch. Where can we find Brotherhood of the Wolf? That is the question.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to order it. I'll let you know,
because it might be on Amazon Prime in France.
I think it was in the States, but not here in Canada.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. The problem with these movies is that
Amazon Prime Video in the States, it's on YouTube for $2 and Google Play, and it's on Apple TV.
It's not actually on Apple TV here. Maybe it's in French. Le Pacte.
Nice. Yeah, you can rent it on YouTube. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna watch that this weekend because I was looking for it. Buy followers, primes, and viewers on yourfollows.com. Yeah, you're gonna get into a lot of trouble for that, Emmett. Trust me. I had
what's this?
I knew someone that would that used to do the Instagram followers and the Twitter followers, and it's a shady gray area where you sell followers, and he got sued. So Danzig, feel free to ban that guy or anyone else in the chat.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, that was Twitch. That was Twitch.
Yeah. We have
Welcome Twitch bot.
yeah. Oh man, I'm desperate to see this movie now. I'll probably watch it tomorrow morning.
Do it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this film, so I need to.
Should do a watch party with Danzig.
Yeah, it's got Gaspar Ulliel in it, who recently very sadly passed away. And one of the best looking people in the world, Monica Bellucci, is in it as well. Brilliant. It's yeah, this is kind of my movie. Like weird. I really like weird French kind of fantasy films.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm surprised that I haven't watched this one.
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. I mean, the last half, I'm not gonna ruin anything, but like you're in for a treat.
Oh, Johan brings up a good point. He said that the 2014 Beauty and the Beast is the second best live action. Jean Cocteau, yes, I have to say that version. I actually studied his Beauty and the Beast at university. I did a thesis on it. I really do like it, but it's not as fun. It's definitely not as fun as Gantz's version. I think Gantz's version. See, I've been watching some really weird films recently. So I've rewatched. When we were on holiday, we rewatched Alien versus Predator, which is the Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. So did you go back and correct your article about the new Predator movie where it said it'll be the first time that we get to see Predator in the past?
Oh, this is the thing. I rewatched this
for the video, and I was just like, that's why I wanted you to see the video so bad when you're on vacation. Like, watch this. I forgot to update the article.
The thing is, right? I don't think people see AVP and AVP Requiem as canon. Yeah. No. Because that's
why you're getting away with this.
Yes, because they are so utterly ridiculous, these movies. But I love them because I love Paul W.S. Anderson, and I love the fact that his name is an amalgamation of probably two of the very best directors we've ever had in Wes Anderson and Paul Thomas Anderson. His name is Paul Wes Anderson, almost. And anyway, his movies always start the same way. His movies always start with a shot of the Earth. They pan out, and then a massive spaceship comes into frame, and it's like with the same sort of font and everything.
Except Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat has the same.
Ron
font.
Perlman, Linda Hamilton, great series.
I haven't watched that one actually. Is that a series?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. Interesting. But I have a theory that I think Paul W.S. Anderson is an auteur. Rewatching some of his movies, I've watched I watched Alien versus Predator Requiem today, which is terrible, but I still love it because I think it's hilarious. And the other
that one,
it's not very good. But the other film that I watched of his rewatched, I've watched it so many times now, is Event Horizon, which I still think is an absolute gem of a movie. It is bonkers. I think Sunshine is a better version of it. But there's something about that film that I adore. I love the way he gets so into the details of like how things look, and he really, I think he gets a lot of Event Horizon was miniatures, and it's really nice to watch. And he's one of those directors that kind of still loves that kind of stuff. And I do also have a massive fondness for the Resident Evil films. I think they're stupid, but I love that kind of stupidity. Yeah, so that's the thing you probably didn't know about me. I love Paul W.S. Anderson.
Have you watched this yet?
Soldier. Which was this one of his movies?
Yeah, have you never seen it?
I've never seen this one.
Oh my God, Kurt Russell, he doesn't speak in it. You
oh my
Kurt
God,
Russell in the main role. He doesn't have any emotions, but one single tear in the whole movie. It's so cheesy bad, but
yeah. This is there's another film that I'm gonna watch.
You need to watch it, man. You need to watch it. It's one of my favorite Paul W.S. Anderson films.
But do you agree with me? Do you think he's someone that has like a very unique style? And
I think he phones it in for a paycheck. He
does.
I think he's one of those directors that just like he kind of like, okay, I know what the game is now. I know how much box office return I'll get. I know this is just a system. I'm just going to make movies. I believe he actually tried before, like, no, I don't think so. Because he Mortal Kombat was good. Maybe he tried on that, but like the effects
Dude,
are bad.
Event Horizon is brilliant. Come on, man.
He didn't do
Like,
Event. Oh yeah,
yes,
he did.
He directed
Event
Event
Horizon.
Horizon.
Yeah, Event Horizon's a good movie.
And you don't like Soldier.
I love Soldier because it's so bad and cheesy.
But that's the thing about him. All his films are terrible. But I think his one real good film is Event Horizon. That's the film in his back catalogue that is like, oh, okay, this is actually a good movie and one that will. People love that film. People still watch it now. And I do think there's something about AVP, Alien versus Predator, that I do.
Nah, it's crap. I saw it in the theater. It was so boring, man. I
like it. I rewatched it and I was like, I actually like this film. And the minute you start watching it, you know that it's a Paul W.S. Anderson film. And the first Resident Evil film, I think, is good.
Yeah, okay, but imagine going to theater to see AVP and you're all excited.
I did. I loved it.
You've seen the original Aliens, and then you saw the original two Predators, and you're like, okay, I haven't seen Predator in a long time, and it's like, what is this boring crap? And I think I watched the first Resident Evil, and it was bad, and I haven't watched any other Resident Evil movies since.
No, the first one is not bad. Come on, the first one is. You just don't get Paul W.
I get him. I just think he gave up, man. Like,
well, he didn't give up because that was his 1, 2. I haven't seen Shopping. Apparently, Shopping is very good, and I haven't seen it. That's what the one
for the money.
Well, now he is, but really, like, I don't know. I really do think this. I mean, he did Monster Hunter, which apparently was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He now just does films with his wife, doesn't he? Like that they just literally do them together. Yeah,
well, that's it. That's their genre, and they make a lot of money overseas on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But who am I thinking of?
I love looking at the Rotten Tomato scores of his films. They're all so bad. He's got an average of 31%. Oh dear.
Like, if you want to talk about, like, I know what you're going for when you're talking about Paul W.S. Anderson, and I would have to say Paul Verhoeven fits into that more for me.
Oh yeah, Paul Verhoeven is a much better director. Yeah. They're working on a completely different level. Like, Paul Verhoeven is someone that is just probably one of the most intelligent people in any room he's ever been in. And
there we go. That's perfect, Bakertown. Yeah, this is what because I can see Paul W.S. Anderson on set. He's like, okay, you guys go walk over there. What are we doing? It's okay. Just go walk over there. And then we need to film this. And then this guy punches this guy. Then you have the big CGI monster come down and then cut. All right, good. Next shot. I see him on set like that. Like, he just wants to get it done and make the money and make the producers happy and the investors happy and get it out there.
Okay, what did Uwe Boll direct?
Oh,
Alone in the Dark. Was that his film? Considered one of the worst films ever made. Oh man.
He kind of went postal when he made Postal. Yeah.
What? Okay, he just makes like straight to DVD movies. This guy.
Was it Paul Verhoeven made Showgirls, right?
Paul Verhoeven made Showgirls, and he made well, I mean, Starship Troopers was the film that he's quite famous
RoboCop.
And RoboCop, yeah. Paul Verhoeven, like, Starship Troopers always kind of puzzled me because I'm like, how could no one really understand that this is a complete, like, this is just a black comedy? Like, everything about it is very tongue-in-cheek, but people took it at face value, which I think people do with Paul W.S. Anderson films as well, to a certain extent. I think a lot of what he does is like he's just making fun, but not as much as Paul Verhoeven. But the film that he did, it was Elle. He directed it was a great film, a French film called Elle with Isabelle Huppert in it, and that is just so good. Such a good movie. If you haven't watched that, and yes, he directed Showgirls, he directed Basic Instinct, RoboCop, Total Recall, the original Total Recall. Bloody hell, what a good movie. The guy, he's probably one of the best directors to have ever lived, Paul Verhoeven, but he's also done some pretty, like,
Showgirls.
Yeah, Showgirls.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Oh, I think it's a hilariously bad movie. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad movie.
Oh my, Edward.
Do you really think it's a bad movie?
Yes. The acting's bad.
Yeah, but
plot is bad. The character the character choices are questionable. The reactions to the situation they're put in is questionable.
it's become a cult movie though, like Showgirls,
because it's so bad.
No, because when I think of like bad cult movies, I
goes
think
The
of
Room.
The Room.
It goes The Room, and then it goes Showgirls.
No, it doesn't.
And then it goes Soldier.
Okay, I got to probably rewatch Showgirls, because when I watched that film, I did not think I thought this is weird, but I also maybe in my head I kept on thinking this is a Paul Verhoeven movie, and I know that Paul Verhoeven is a good director, so surely this can't be bad. This must be bad on purpose.
So you went in with Paul Verhoeven glasses, or Paul W. Anderson? No, Verhoeven. See, now you're getting me all confused with all these Pauls. Paul Thomas Anderson.
And Bakertown, I definitely did not turn into Clint. There are many movies that I do not like at all. I think that there's something that it brings me some sort of joy watching a Paul W. Anderson movie. Maybe it's just because, you know what? I think I know what it is. It's because when I was a kid, I used to. There's in America, it was called Blockbuster. In France, it was called Video Future. Was the place you'd go to rent DVDs back then. I was renting DVDs, and I used to sneakily rent horror movies, and all of the horror. I remember I got almost all of the Saw films and the Resident Evil films, and I watched them in like 2 days or something. And there was something I actually really, really enjoyed. The Paul W. Anderson films, the Resident Evil films. I thought they were awful, but I also think I was probably about 12.
Yeah, see, so you got that nostalgia.
Yeah, I got that, and I think the Event Horizon was the film that I think that film really messed me up, and I watched it and I could not get it out of my head. And I watch. I think it's one of the films that I watch every year. Is Event Horizon. I just love to sit down and watch that film. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I like him so much. And it's to get another reason why I like Paul Verhoeven so much, because one of those films that I borrowed, not borrowed, what did you say? Was Starship Troopers, which at the time I thought was going to be like a horror film, and then I watched it. I thought it was hilarious because I was like, "This is not serious." And then I read up about it, thinking, "Oh my god, all these critics thought this was real." thought it was propaganda for the US military, and I was like, no, it's not. And I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and I got that. So,
right, like it was a commentary.
Yeah. So Bakertown says, I like Paul W. Anderson movies. He's a jobber. What does jobber mean? Is that an American term? I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but probably that he just makes movies.
Well, he doesn't make that many though. He's not someone that like makes a
he's like work for hire.
Films. Well, you say that, but all the films that he makes, he produces, and he literally just makes whatever he wants to make.
Yeah.
I think he's got into that position where a lot of filmmakers would love to be in. It's like any film that he is like, okay, maybe not after Monster Hunter, because that film sank like a stone. Like that film did terribly. I was looking at the numbers for that movie. They're awful. It was made on a budget of 60 million, and only its box office was 19.8. That's not good. But then you look at like Resident Evil, the final chapter was made for 40 million and made 306 million. So he was one of those directors that was able to make movies for very little money, but they would make a lot of money in return. For instance, Mortal Kombat made for 18 million. It made 122.
Yeah, he's playing the Hollywood studio game where like he knows the minimum amount he has to bring to the screen, and then he can make a lot of money back.
Yeah, but the funny thing about him is he's operating in
Some
that
people
space.
call that being a hack. It's
not being a hack, it's being smart. No, because it's it's obviously he's probably a bit of a penny pincher, like he has to be, and he's operating in a space that really doesn't exist anymore. That's the mid tier like budget blockbuster
Right.
kind of thing. It just doesn't exist anymore. Movies aren't made for 60 million anymore. That's like unheard of. They're either made for like 1 or 2 million, or they're made for like 400 million. Some of them, and it's like that kind of mid-tier budget film has just disappeared almost. Yeah, he is one person that is still doing those films. I haven't seen Monster Hunter, so I can't really talk about that movie. I haven't heard anything good about it, I'm going to be honest. But the films that he's made that I've liked, okay, I can go through them. I love Mortal Kombat. I think that film is hilarious.
I love that movie. Yeah.
I love Event Horizon. I love the first Resident Evil film. I love Alien versus Predator. I've watched Death Race and I thought that was bad. Afterlife, nah, not very good. The Three Musketeers, awful. And then he made Pompeii, which was really bad. But I actually did like Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. There you see. That's and also he made a film. What was one of the? He produced Pandorum. I did like Pandorum, but he only produced that. That was kind of a freaky kind of Dead Space movie. Yeah, but he likes those things. He likes his kind of grimy space films. I think what he did was he took what Ridley Scott did with Alien and kind of just made it ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Alien franchise, man. And you blame James Cameron for Aliens. You say he ruined the franchise, but you're okay with Alien vs. Predator. Talk about a double standard there, man.
No, okay. What I said.
Here
right?
we go.
Hold
on 1 second. Go ahead.
What I think about Aliens is I think Aliens is a fantastic movie, but I think it's a bad Alien film. Because it was too jarring. I completely understand what he wanted to do.
You got a little Matt Berry going there for a minute.
What did I do? I don't know. It was too jarring. You go from a movie where Sir Ridley Scott's film. I have to say Sir Ridley Scott. That film was all about a monster that was literally unkillable, that was terrorizing a group of people in a rather enclosed space. Terrifying movie. And what James Cameron did was then make that monster basically cannon fodder. Like in Aliens, they kill aliens left, right, and center super easily. And I suppose he was like, I find the horror in the sense there's so many of them. But it's like, for me, I was watching it and I remember watching it thinking, they've completely just forgotten what the original movie was all about. And they turned it into an action film. And if you, like, I think the same, I can say the same.
So what did AVP?
AVP didn't do that though. That's the thing about AVP. AVP took, I mean, it did do that. Yeah, it did. But also, I don't take AVP seriously. I watched that movie and I'm like, this is just dumb. I don't care anymore. Like they tried to return Alien back to its roots by bringing Ridley Scott back. And actually, I think Prometheus is the second best Alien film ever made, because I don't consider Aliens an Alien movie. I think it's another thing entirely. I think it's an action horror film that happens to have aliens in xenomorphs in them. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to get at here. I think Alien, the Ridley Scott Alien, is its own beast and something which should be taken apart from the franchise that came after it. And if anything, the reason why the franchise never really succeeded was because of Aliens, was because they had this movie bullshit that James Cameron made. You can't just say it's bullshit. I think it's true, because they had this movie that James Cameron made which completely changed the genre. The movie, I'm not saying the movie is bad. I'm saying the movie didn't do. I'm saying the movie completely changed the Alien franchise, and it never managed to recover from it.
Yeah, but if they made a clone of the first movie, then everyone would say, "Oh, that's just a clone of the first."
Well,
movie.
I don't think they should have made a sequel. I think it should have been something different. They just used the word alien and they were like, we can use H.R. Giger's incredible, incredible designs.
What's up, Clint?
Hey, Clint. And they did that, and they kind of piggybacked off the success of the original movie.
Miss you, Clint.
Yeah, we do miss you. You probably would have agreed with me on this, Clint. I don't know. I always feel like I'm trapped into like a very small box on this one, because everyone's like, yeah, you're talking rubbish, and I'm like, no, Aliens is not a good alien film. Aliens is a good movie that happens to have xenomorphs in it, but as far as, like, for me, what Alien is all about, it's all about having to overcome an impossible foe, something that is just fear incarnate, and I did not get that with Aliens.
I just like to hear you go on rants about aliens and say the word alien like 20 million times.
And actually, Baker-Tan is right. He did the same thing with Terminator 2. He did exactly the same thing with Terminator 2. He turned the genre on its head and turned it into something completely different. And since Terminator 2, there has not been a good Terminator movie.
So you're blaming James Cameron for good filmmaking because people can't talk.
Yeah.
That's okay. Hey, Edward, we're all family here.
Family.
What's that Baker-Tan at the end?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's hilarious. But anyway, the one
Family.
That is so good. But what I was going to say, the one person that I think that can really crack this alien nut, which is a weird thing to say, is the guy that's doing the series. I've forgotten, isn't it? Noah Hawley. I think Noah Hawley is someone that probably understands this better than most, and also I think I think I've heard that the film is going to bring xenomorphs to Earth, which they say is for the first time, but it actually happened in Alien vs Predator. So Alien vs Predator did everything first. Oh dear. I think James has gone.
I'm here. Sorry, I had to reboot.
One
reboot, Daniel.
Reese75 says, "Will Avatar 2 be bad?" No. Okay. If you're going to look at how James Cameron's career has progressed, Avatar 2 will be the best movie ever made, and then the Avatar franchise will never be able to top that movie. So yeah, Avatar 2 will be incredible. It'll be mind-blowing, and then Avatar 3 will be absolute crap. But maybe the fact that James Cameron's directing it also will mean that actually that film will be good.
And at the same time too.
And at the same time, yeah.
Maybe he figured out like he's got to do them all at the same time, or
yeah,
the next one after will be crap.
Because he didn't do Terminator 3, and he didn't do Alien 3.
Terminator 3 was a fun movie.
It was all right, but it was nowhere near as good as it was literally the same movie.
It's Star Trek Picard, the Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah. Reese says I prefer Requiem to AVP. Now, I'm halfway through Requiem.
That's a good point.
So by that logic, because Coppola made flashbacks to Godfather Part 2, Godfather 3 was ruined. Well, doesn't everyone say Godfather 3 is crap anyway?
Yeah, but with that logic, we found the secret.
Oh, so that's why Godfather 3 is crap.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with not wanting to give Robert Duvall $10 million to come back for the movie.
It's again, I mean, the Godfather I've watched the first Godfather. I haven't watched the second one. I thought the first.
Okay, Edward is just gone now. He's not allowed to run small screen anymore because he hasn't seen Godfather 2.
Hey, I'm back. This is an unpopular opinion, but I thought the first Godfather film was so boring. So I just didn't watch the second one. I was quite young when I watched it, though.
A lot of people think the first Alien movie is boring.
Yeah, which is fine. If you do, I disagree with you, but it's fine. I watched Apocalypse Now, which is the other Francis Ford Coppola movie, and I also thought that was boring.
James Cameron should have directed Godfather 2.
Oh
What
dear.
if the Order of Aliens came out first, Edward? Would you be complaining about Alien not following the previous story?
Well, it didn't, so that is redundant.
That's such a cop-out answer.
um, I love Alien. I love Alien. Everybody's not watched Godfather film or Aliens. That's fine. Lots of people eat Tide Pods too. I didn't get this. What are Tide Pods? Because I always hear people talk about this.
They're
Maybe
it's
are they things you clean clothes with?
yeah, it's something that happened like what,
And
6,
kids
7
started
years
eating
ago.
them.
Yeah, they're like small little plastic packs with
Yeah,
laundry detergent in them.
what?
and you put
Why
them in
would
the
you eat
washer.
them?
Because it was some stupid challenge on TikTok or something.
Was it TikTok? Was
Yeah.
TikTok around then?
I don't know. It was some social media. It's whatever. It's a stupid challenge that people do.
Oh, okay, we've lost someone. Paolo
Hey,
says you guys are
We
hilarious.
should only lose half Apollo because I don't think Godfather Part 1 was boring, to be honest.
Look, okay.
I think Godfather Part 2 is a better film, but Godfather Part 1 is a great film.
Can I explain to you what happened? Why I was forced to watch the first Godfather by okay, story time.
Here we go.
Here we go. So before I started Small Screen, I actually started another website called Bad Cantina. I started that with a guy that I won't name, but he was a very good friend of mine, but he was also an incredible snob. Like, if you think I'm a movie snob, this guy was a massive movie snob.
Not a movie snob, just a regular snob.
Just a regular. Thank you. So basically, he was one of these guys, and actually, my brother Robert says he's the reason why I don't like Aliens. Because Robert was like, dude, we watched it together the first time you ever watched it, and you loved that movie. I was like, yeah, I loved it. And then he's like, then you watched it with this guy, and then you suddenly hated it. And I was like, no, I don't hate Aliens. Anyway, that's another story. But he basically.
So was this guy's name Paulo Caesar?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it wasn't. But basically what this guy would do was we would do movie marathons together, and then he would literally just explain and critique everything that was going on in the movie, which made watching movies with him very difficult. And one of the things, he was a massive fan of the Godfather series, and sat not just me but Alessia too, because Alessia knew him as well. They were actually housemates at the time, and a bunch of other people sat us all down to watch the first Godfather, which I think is about 3 hours long. At least it felt like that like it was that long, on a tiny television in a very small cramped apartment in Paris. And it was a horrendous experience because I was uncomfortable. It was really hot, I remember, in that flat, and I just wanted to go. And he proceeded to explain why this was one of the best films ever made, and then was like, right, now we're watching Godfather Part 2. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I cannot stand this anymore. So maybe the reason why I don't like that movie so much is because of the circumstances I was watching it in. It was by no means, he was one of these people that just really wanted you to, he's like, I want you to like this, and I'm explaining to you why you should like this and why it's the best thing ever. And you just thought, oh God, let's watch something more fun. Let's watch like, I don't know, when you're a group of people.
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, let's watch Alien versus Predator or something like that. But yeah, so that's probably why I need to give Godfather and Godfather Part 2 probably another go. Godfather Part 2, I haven't seen it, so I need to give that
I've had
a go.
experiences like that. It's like, don't tell me, don't build it up. Just let me watch and experience it on my own. And did he like talk through it the whole movie?
Yeah, he didn't. He would pause it, which made it worse.
No.
Yeah. And
I used to do that when I was drunk with like Blazing Saddles or something like that. But
or like another film that you could do that with would be The Room, because you just want to see every single funny detail that's on the screen. So you pause it to have a look at the picture that has the framed picture of
With
a
the
spoon.
spoons. Yeah.
So we and to be fair, he was the one that you know, a lot of my movie knowledge came from him, really, because The Room was him. I never heard of that film before. He told me about it, and we watched a lot of movies together, like The Thing, one of my favorite films ever, where I watched that with him. But then again, that they were in better circumstances because it was just me and him watching those. And I think that movie in particular was just difficult because it was uncomfortable, it was hot, it was cramped, it was on a small TV. It was just not the best experience.
What you needed to do was like just give him his own podcast on that website. And like, just let him do director commentary, and you get all.
Well, I don't talk to the guy anymore. We fell out massively.
No, I think you should have done that, and then he wouldn't do it in person. Like he'd have his own audience. He'd do his own director's commentary. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of story time. And from the ashes of Bad Cantina rose small screen. Yeah. What are you bringing up now? I just want to watch Alien versus Predator Requiem now. What's a Chapek, says Kazakh. That we'll get onto that in a bit. Nicolas Cage wants to play a villain in the Batman 2. Can you guess who he wants to play?
Yes.
Because you know. Guys,
like Kite Man.
He wants to. Guys in the chat, who do you think he wants to play?
Everyone knows.
Does everyone know?
Yeah, it's all over social media.
It's all over Twitter. All over social. He wants to play Egghead. Oh dear. I think this is hilarious. He said this. I think he's got a film coming out, hasn't he? All about himself.
Yeah.
Which sounds great. Poison Ivy says Danzig. Kazakh says Riddler. And Sean Halligan got it right. Reese got it right. Oh dear.
Do you think he's trolling here?
I think he's major troll. I think he probably would be like, I want to be in that movie. I think it'd be great to see him in that movie. But he also obviously knows a lot about this character. He was like the villain that Vincent Price played.
Man.
Yeah, he's like Egghead. I think I want to have a go at Egghead. I think he probably genuinely wants to do this, as well as kind of trolling. He's probably like, dude, I'd love to play this character.
I gotta say something here to promote my film and use the Batman hype for it.
Go on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to say that. Yeah. What's the name of his film? It's like the Unbearable Talents of something or other. Apparently, it's really good. That's the buzz I'm hearing. It's really, really good. I didn't put the name of his movie that he's promoting.
Bad journalism.
Well, that wasn't the interesting part. The interesting part to me was that he wants to play Egghead. I always want to say Eggman. And I think of the Beastie Boys song.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's it. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's it's got Pedro Pascal in it, and it's also got
Danzig. I beat you. Sorry, you probably typed it in as I was saying.
Yeah. That's the name. Neil Patrick Harris is in the film as well. I think it's going to be really good. But what villain would you like to see in the Batman 2? Any villain.
Like if it's Nicolas Cage playing any villain.
Really? You'd want him to play anybody? You didn't care who it was?
No. As long as he's got a pet pig, I'm happy. I can live out my pig sequel dreams.
I like this story, and I hope that Matt Reeves has heard him, and that he thinks he's going to rewrite the script for the Batman 2 to have Egghead in it.
Like, I really want Court of Owls. Maybe not
everyone said that
one, but like at first when I heard that, I was like, no, it's too early, but it totally makes sense.
It makes sense in that world, doesn't it? To have the Court of Owls behind everything.
Like maybe pepper clues throughout the second one, and then the third one be about the Court of Owls and the showdown and Batman going through that maze and stuff.
That would be awesome.
Baker Town says Man Bat. I could see him playing Kurt Langstrom for sure. Yeah, Kirk Langstrom. Yeah. And yes to a pig sequel, please.
Yeah.
That world is absolutely amazing.
Oh, is this true, Danzig? Cage was up for the Scarecrow in a follow-up to Batman and Robin. That would have been good. He would have worked well as the Scarecrow, actually. Professor
Professor
Pig.
Pig.
Now, there are a bunch of villains that I would love to see in the sequel. I think, of course, spoilers if you haven't seen the Batman yet. There is a particular villain that's in the first film.
He won't be in the second, though. I don't think.
I mean, I think if they bring that character in, they would bring him in the third film. Have it be, or even have him just be in the Arkham Asylum series, and have like I hope the Arkham Asylum series is like each episode's about a different villain. I think that would be really cool. Clayface would showcase his talents for overacting. That's true. He's got a very actually, that would be really good.
Yeah,
that would be perfect actually if he was Clayface. Kill it as the ventriloquist. Oh, he should reach for his Mandy. Oh, Mandy is such a good movie. That film is bonkers.
There you go.
Cyrus Bane.
No, get McLovin as Bane.
Oh man, I hope that I think Bane is a villain they should not touch at all. I think Bane.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, but even that,
he really takes his acting seriously, though, man.
Dave Bautista. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I just think Bane is not a particularly interesting character. Like,
yes, Bobby, I've already prepared you a list. I will send it tonight. She saw No Way Home, but she hasn't seen really any of the Marvel movies.
Yes,
so I'm gonna send her a list. So
I think Bane has never been done properly on screen. Really,
No.
I wasn't a massive fan of the what's his face Tom Hardy version, and I think he wouldn't fit this universe. I think it would be a bit. He wouldn't fit the universe, and I don't think he'd fit Robert Pattinson's Batman either, because I think he would literally just crush him. This is not.
Would be a good Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange, yeah, Batista would be a good. Hugo Strange would be a really good character for these Batman movies. I wanted to talk to you about one thing. Actually, I know this is probably spoilers for the Batman, but I didn't get to be on the spoiler cast. So I wanted to ask you: do you think the Riddler knows who Batman is? I've watched this movie 3 times now, and I know the answer.
I don't know. I have to watch the movie again to remember the end. But I would have to say no off the top of my head.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't.
There you go. I trust my instinct.
He doesn't know who the Batman is, because that scene at the end where he goes,
because he's all just like,
he basically says
they kind of tricked you at the beginning of that scene, because they're like, oh, does he know? And then or maybe that's him just being smart and still holding that card. You never know.
But the whole thing is,
think he was like mentally unstable, and one of those things. I watched Falling Down last night. And with Michael Douglas, and when he goes to meet that neo-Nazi, doesn't meet him, but he goes to his store, and I'm like, you and I are the same, don't you realize that? It reminded me of Batman and the Riddler.
Yeah,
that scene.
That's a good call, actually. Yeah. 375 says Batman doesn't even know who Batman is. He's vengeance. Yeah. No, you guys are right. He didn't know who Batman was, and that's one of the reasons why Batman decides to continue, because he the whole thing, he says, I think it's finished for the Batman, because he thinks that Riddler knows who he is. But actually what he's saying is that Bruce Wayne is the only person they didn't get. So there you go. And Chrysler agrees with you. Everyone loves Falling Down.
Yeah, that's and that's Joel Schumacher, director of Batman and Robin.
Poor Joel Schumacher. R.I.P.
No, he did he pass away?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
When?
This year, I think. Either this year or last year.
No way.
Yeah. He died. Yeah.
That's a shame. But yeah, he did like Tigerland and Phone Booth, and he died 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago, 2020.
The Lost Boys, Falling Down.
He's done some great films. He just did not understand Batman.
No, I think he did it for the studio, and they wanted to sell toys, and like make it fantastical. Like that's a director that can make good movies, but also play to the
Sunk-
studios and make
God,
cheese movies.
Yeah.
You know, like not like Paul W.S. Anderson, but Joel Schumacher can do that.
He
So,
did St. Elmo's Fire. I didn't know he did that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good film. Good director. Shame about his I mean, again, I just his Batman films I liked as a kid. I thought they were fun, but yeah, when you watch them,
seeing Batman Forever in the theater was a great experience. So hyped for it.
Yeah, I watched. I think it was Batman. Wait, which was the one with Mr.
Chris
Freeze?
O'Donnell was Batman and Robin.
That was Batman and Robin. That's the one I watched in the cinema. Batman and Robin, 1990. I was 7 years old, maybe actually 6, when I watched that in the cinema. But yeah, it's. I mean, he kept on referring to it as a comic strip. I remember whenever he talks about his movie, he's like, "It's a comic strip," and it's like, what do you mean? It's like it's a comic strip come to life. And I just think he obviously was under. Yeah, I think you're right. He was under some sort of direction, wasn't he, by the studio?
Yeah, that's why Tim Burton had left.
Yeah.
So. And yeah, he did understand the
He
60
did.
show version. So.
He did. Yeah, and I think that was more for him. That was very much the point of reference, wasn't it? It was a 60s show.
And probably the 60s comic strip, now that you say that.
Yeah.
Like he probably, like what he knew a lot about Batman was probably from the comic strip.
Because Batman, to begin, well, there was
Agreed.
a long period when Batman was absolutely wacko. Like the comic strips were bonkers, very colorful. They weren't dark at all. It wasn't really until Alan Moore came back, and really kind of made them dark.
Well, Neil Adams, and then Frank Miller came in and did the
Frank Miller did the Dark Knight. And who did Year One?
Danzig. Year One was Frank Miller, and who's the artist?
It's
Not
Frank
Brian
Miller.
Arizona.
Yeah, it's Frank Miller. Yeah, that's the name. Frank Miller was, I think, probably the one that a lot of people say kind of reinvented the tone of Batman. Really,
David Mazzucchelli was the artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen a bit
Dan.
there, Danzig.
Thank you, Dan. Right, should we start talking about this? About this thing you've got up?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about what's going on in the House of Mouse. Disney. So there's this whole thing at the moment called it's referred to as the Don't Say Gay bill. That's going on in Florida. Its actual name is the Parental Rights in Education Act. It's the bill that Governor Ron DeSantis is going. I think he's probably already passed it into law now. I'm not sure, but it's had a lot of traction recently, because basically what it is it's preventing teachers up to the 3rd grade in Floridan schools from discussing sexual orientation or gender identity in their curriculum. So basically, teachers will not be able to talk about gay people or transgender people or anything like that to children in schools. They won't be able to teach them that. They won't be able to talk about that at all in Florida. This bill has been very heavily criticized by many people. A lot of people like to say the word gay is not mentioned in the bill at all. It's not, but that's not the point. It's mentioned in the fact that I have read bits of the bill, and I have to say it's quite shocking what's in this thing, and it's quite shocking what's being put through into law now in the United States. We've recently had the whole abortion bill that went through in Texas, I think, which basically makes it illegal for people to have abortions in Texas, really. But basically, what happened was it then ended up being revealed that Disney has donated almost $300,000 to politicians that were actively involved in the making of this bill. So we ended up, and yeah, I like that, Kazakhs. The Don't Say Gay bill seems like it comes straight out of South Park. It's true, it does. It really does. But yeah, we got in contact with some Disney employees, and very kindly a Disney employee that is a member, happens to be a member of the LGBTQ plus community, agreed to speak to us. And they wish to remain anonymous, so we didn't name them. And they has a lot to say about what's going on in the company. I don't think we'll go over a lot of it here because there's the article that you should go and read, and there's also a video that James is probably editing as we speak, which is why he's not on camera. But this line here, I think, is the line that is highlighted here. The quote, "What's going on is abhorrent, and the leadership has proven itself to be completely out of touch with the modern world." One of the reasons why they said this is because the Disney leadership is basically refusing to publicly condone the bill. So they sent around an internal email basically saying that there'd be no point to condone this bill because it would weaponize each side. They gave a real kind of bullshit excuse as to why they're not publicly condoning this bill. And basically, Disney employees have been staging walkouts, the biggest of them being in Orlando, which is where the Disney HQ is, and the parks are, of course. And Disney is really not coming out of this very well at all. Now, the way these companies work is they'll tend to give money to all different politicians, and being located in Orlando, they of course will be donating money to certain Republicans, because Orlando is in the state of Florida, and Florida is a red state in America. But the fact that this money has has changed hands, and the fact that Disney is not publicly condoning this bill, which is terrible. They like to bang on. I mean, Bob Iger was banging on about having how Disney has made so many movies and TV shows that they have a wide range of people from all different walks of life in them, and they are very pro LGBTQ plus community. It's all crap. That's really what's coming out of this, and that's what employees are starting to not just starting to realize. They've realized this for quite some time now, and it's actually getting to the point where people feel like they can't work for Disney anymore. So
then, on top of Pixar being furious about turning red, and then you had the ScarJo lawsuit last year,
and all of this has coincided with Bob Chapek. They're both called Bob. It's annoying. Bob Iger leaving, and then Bob Chapek coming in, and we knew from the get-go that the two of them didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and Bob Iger's really not coming out of any of this very well. So, I suppose the question is, how long will he remain in the position of leadership? Does Disney need a change in leadership? Does Disney need to come out and condone this bill? And the answer to all of that is probably yes. We were told that they're already eyeing a new guy to come in, and we were actually specifically told that Peter Rice is the name. So he's currently on the board, on Disney's board, and he is somebody that has got a lot of experience in handling creatives and talent. So the idea was to bring him in to handle that. But you know what? They might be thinking more. They might be thinking, let's just get Peter Rice in to just steady the ship, because at the moment, Disney's ship is sinking, and it's sinking like a stone. And Bob Chapek is at the helm. And it's really
like the merchandise and the theme parks.
Well, that's what Bob Chapek's all about. He's a merchandising guy. He ran the theme parks. He made a lot of money. He made the company a heck of a lot of money. But he also made fans, regulars that go to the theme parks on a regular basis, made them super angry because of all these penny. He literally will take money out of people's pockets wherever and whenever he can. And that, for me, I talked about that a couple of months ago when I went to Disneyland for my birthday. I was shocked by the fact that now, if you want to, if you want to go onto like a fast pass thing in Disney, you have to pay like almost €20. You're already paying almost €100 to go into the park. It's just bonkers. Like the amount of money that already Disney is the richest company in the world. You know, they don't have to be taking any more money out of people that are going there. You know, and it's just the whole experience at the moment with the company. A lot of people working with the company are finding it very difficult. You know, it's a shame because working for Disney is many people's dreams. You know, people from a very young age dreamt about working for a company like Disney, specifically Disney, because Disney is supposedly the company that, you know, the guys that make people's dreams a reality of sorts. You know, it's like they are the ones that make people's dreams come true. You know,
I wanted to be an animator at Disney until I realized that I didn't want to paint backgrounds for a living. You know,
yeah. Bobby comes up with a good point. Condone or condemn? Now, so no, condemn. There you go. Condemn, not condone. There you go. That is the difference. So they wouldn't publicly condemn the bill, not condone.
Family.
Yeah. So it's a sad state of affairs at the moment over at Disney, isn't it? What do you think about all of this, James?
I think Disney's been on downhill for a while. Yeah, so with everything that's gone, and then with Chapek, I think they're going to replace Chapek.
Do you reckon? And when do you reckon it will happen sooner rather than later?
It all depends upon his contract, how hard it'll be,
and how expensive it'll be.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Chapek. I mean, a lot of people don't like Chapek, you know, and a lot of people feel that Chapek has been ruining the Disney model. I mean, even before he came on, Disney was still giving a lot of money to questionable politicians and backing them. You know, like Ike Perlmutter was doing that too.
Yeah,
and then
it reminds me. All this reminds me a lot of Ike Perlmutter, actually.
Yeah, and so a lot of the skeletons at Disney are coming out of the closet now, and they've always had a questionable past. You know, like you mentioned that in the article here. But yeah, it's not looking good for Chapek, and you know, depends how close Peter Rice is to the whole situation right now. Maybe they were grooming him or not. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so what's the gain? Okay, first of all, Bobby has a good point. Disneyland, she hasn't gone anymore. She used to go for over 20 years because of what you were talking about with the price. And what's the gain for them doing this? So I think it's more of a lobbying thing.
It's a lobbying thing. That's what it is.
Be like in the pockets of the politicians, or have the politicians in your pockets.
Yeah,
which they've been doing for the last how many years now?
They've done that. They've done that for years. Ever since they started, they were building the parks in Orlando. That's what they were doing. And but it's not. It's kind of companies do this.
Yeah.
You know, they will all do this. But the problem is, I mean, I suppose $300,000. That is a very small price for Disney to pay to have a politician do basically whatever the hell you want. And you saw this during the pandemic. Like, Florida was very lenient with Disneyland. Like, you know, they kind of let them, they were open for a bit, and then it's like, I'm pretty sure they don't have to pay as much tax as they probably should be paying because of this as well. And I think they have a very good relationship, specifically with Ron DeSantis, who's the governor. And it's for them, it's more of a business thing than a political. Like, it's a political thing, definitely, but for that. I don't. When I first heard about this, I was like, okay, well, a lot of companies do this. Does it necessarily mean that they are they are for this bill, they agree with this bill? Probably not. But the problem is that they didn't come out and say, this bill shouldn't be
Of course
passed.
not, because then that would ruffle their politician friends.
Exactly, but it's coming to a point now where Disney has to pick a side, and there's something about me that thinks this probably wouldn't have happened under the time of Iger, because we never heard about any of this sort of stuff. Like, Florida's been a red state for years, and I'm pretty sure they've passed some very dodgy bills over those years, but we never heard anything about it. You know, it was always kept probably rather quiet, and Iger was probably better at managing all of that than Chapek is.
For sure.
I think, yeah, go on.
Well, Bakertown has a good point. First they
changed the copyright laws.
They did that, so like Snow White and all that stuff. I'm not sure about that, because that is very murky depending upon what you read and what you believe. But I will say that I did work for a theater chain here in Canada called Famous Players, and we had a staff meeting presentation, and the whole time the guy's like, okay, we're basing our business model off the Disney business model. And I quit a couple days after that, because being in that meeting, in that presentation, it felt like I was watching World War II propaganda from Germany. Like, that's how, and I wish I could explain it better, but it was so long ago, it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And that is the Disney model. So yeah, whatever their past Disney ideology you believe in, because there's a lot of stories, a lot of reporting out there. It seems that like what they're putting out on the screens is completely different what they're doing in the back rooms.
Yeah.
Right.
But they love to point at what they're doing on the screens. They love to be like, look at all this stuff that we've greenlit.
Look how progressive we are.
Look how progressive. But but then the company itself is completely different.
Yeah.
And actually, interestingly enough, there was one of Disney's producers went on Twitter and had a massive rant saying, I'm tired of making this company look good, because I think she produces a show on the Disney Channel that's like a very progressive show. It's for kids, and it's, promoting kind of very good values and things like that. And she was like, I'm tired of having of being the one to bear this burden, to be, it's not really a burden, but I'm tired of being the one that they point to, being like, look how good we are, look at all this great stuff we're doing. But really all it is a sort of almost propaganda, because it's like they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it to have this perception
tired of being the mascot, right?
Yeah, exactly. And having this perception of being a company that accepts all of this, but in reality, they are the ones that are enabling some terrible behavior towards members of the minorities and members of the LGBTQ plus community. And it's really got to change. It's really, really got to change, because if they don't change this ASAP, it's going to be, it's already a big problem for them. Literally, this was pointed out by John Oliver on his recent show last week tonight. And that's a show that's watched by millions of people. So it's out there now, and it's going to be very difficult for Disney to come out of this positive. I think it's going to be impossible for them to come out of this positively, because they have refused to say anything publicly about this bill, like positive or negative. If anything, that internal email just makes it all worse.
Yeah, and
if you can go down to what he said,
disown them.
Yeah, Marvel Studios came out and disowned it and condemned the bill, and said that what Disney was doing was wrong. And it's like, you got to get your house in order. The internal the Disney leadership unequivocally stand with the LGBTQ plus employees, but said that corporate statements do very little to change outcomes or minds. He added, they are often weaponized by one side or the other to further divide and inflame. That's absolute bullshit. And no wonder, like,
it just sounds like someone out of touch.
But that's the thing, he is completely out of touch.
Yeah.
He is completely out of touch, and this would have. I know that people hark on about this, but this wouldn't have happened under Iger. And I think people are starting to really feel that now. And the fact that people within the company have been saying, that here they didn't want to make their names public because they're still employed, but which is understandable. But people that have left the company have been very vocal about how bad it's getting, and how the fact that Bob Chapek has been promoting a lot of people that should not be in the positions that they're in, a lot of people that are greenlighting projects that have no real understanding of Hollywood and how movies and TV shows are made. They are literally just, as I said, they're pencil pushers and pencil and spreadsheet pushers. And it's getting to the point where the people in marketing are taking over, and that is not good. when marketing people take over, things tend to take a turn for the worse.
We end up with like the bad days of 20th Century Fox, and Sony.
Marvel's come out of this well.
But that's because Kevin Feige has like an iron grip on
but this is the difference. You look at someone like Kevin Feige, and I know Marvel is a Disney company, but Kevin Feige has that autonomy to be able to say to put a statement out there, and it read very well. I can't remember exactly what he said now, but or what Marvel Studios said, what their official statement was, but at least they made an official statement, and they acknowledged that this was a problem. Bob Chapek, this is a leaked internal staff email.
Yeah, but like Feige still doesn't have the ultimate power. Look, he was fighting for Black Widow not to be released on streaming, and he still lost that battle.
And then companies like, what the hell's Pixar going to do? Pixar is literally, it's a company that Disney they cannot afford to lose that. And it'll be very difficult for Pixar to leave Disney anyway, virtually impossible. It would be great if they could buy themselves out, but that would cost way too much money, and they would also lose all the IPs that they have. So they'd have
George
to
Lucas could buy them again.
Well, if Apple could buy them. That's the company that is literally, Steve Jobs was the one that helped them.
George Lucas owned Pixar first. And then
he sold it to Steve Jobs. Yeah. But I would think that Apple might be in a better financial position to buy Pixar than George Lucas at the moment.
Yeah, thanks for ruining my joke there.
Sorry, I thought you were serious.
Hey, it would be cool though.
It would be cool. You just get them to make like kind of Star Wars light animated things. Be fun. Yeah, this story upsets me because I'm a massive fan. I've grown up loving Disney stuff, and I just don't like the fact that the company's going the way it's going at the moment. And the fact that Bob Chapek's still there is kind of bonkers to me. I find it a bit mad that he's still
contracts, right? Like when it's like you have an ironclad contract when you become the CEO of Disney. You have to really unless barring some scandal. But even then, that gives you some time.
Yeah, but with him, it kind of has been scandal after scandal with him, like almost. It's the thing is that they're quite.
Yeah, but it's no Kevin Feige.
Yeah, there you go. It's nothing like no sexual assault scandals and things like that, and that it's very much like the scandals are that he's been running the company badly. But yeah. It's sad to see. It's because I do think we're starting to see the tail end of Disney's kind of like monolithic time on the top.
Yeah, unless they get rid of Chapek and start righting the ship soon. It's just gonna the longer they wait, the harder it's gonna be to dig themselves out of that hole. So.
Bobby asks, what would they keep in buying it? So this is to be Pixar.
It all depends upon how the IP contracts are between Disney and Pixar. I'm sure
Pixar wouldn't keep anything apart from everything they did before they were bought by Disney.
It all depends upon their IP contracts, because I know that they got renegotiated during Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
And I think Pixar would be happy. to leave, because then they wouldn't be forced to do the direct-to-video sequels. IP is intellectual property, just basically the product, like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they would be happy, but at the same time, who would handle Pixar's distribution? Unless it was another studio that picked them up. But I really don't want to see, as much as I love the Amazon television series and stuff like that, I really would not want to see a streaming service by Pixar.
No, that's the thing.
There should be theatrical. What we need is Pixar movies to be an event again, because they're not really an event, at least to me, anyways.
Well, Turning Red is just kind of was pooped out on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, but even Encanto, I never even heard anything about that.
Encanto's Disney, it's not Pixar.
Oh, okay.
The one that they did was
The Emotions one.
Luca was the one that they did last year.
I haven't watched that. I barely heard anything about it. Inside Out.
Inside Out was really good.
Directed that, but
that was the last one that was like, was actually the last one that was released in cinemas. Luca was the one that wasn't released in cinemas, and that was a big deal for them. And you're right, not many people got to watch it, even though it did pretty well on Disney Plus. It actually did really well on Disney Plus.
But I remember, I think it was up until Brave.
Oh god, Brave wasn't very good.
Was the last big one, and then I know Incredibles 2, that was a big thing.
Yeah,
But now it's like, oh, it's another Pixar movie, and I know I'm not the demographic anymore, but I'm an animation junkie, so I do want to watch these, but I don't really feel the hype as they used to, So
well, and that's really been a factor in Turning Red had literally no hype. Luca had very little hype, and these are the two films that they released straight to Disney Plus. Before that, so what they had, I need to have a look, because Pixar tends to make one or two movies a year. Pixar releases. Let me have a look at what was.
Are you off your cell phone now?
I'm not. I wasn't on my cell phone.
Just bugging you.
Soul. So was Soul released in cinemas? No, I think Soul was also straight to Disney Plus. I think Soul might have been the first one that was actually straight to Disney Plus. That was really good as well. Onward, before that was released in cinemas, but really had that wasn't very good anyway. And then before that, it was Toy Story 4, Incredibles 2, Coco, Cars 3, Finding Dory. I have to say that the last three films, Turning Red is really good, by the way. Soul, Luca, and Turning Red have all been brilliant. They had a bit of a downward trajectory, I think, with I didn't think Toy Story 4 was very good. I didn't think Onward was very good. I thought Incredibles 2 was great, and Coco was brilliant. Cars 3 was not good, and Finding Dory was not good. And The Good Dinosaur wasn't great.
Right? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're mandated to put out so many films a year.
Yeah.
And that really kills their creativity. I remember Pixar they'd plan years ahead and then maybe have one come out every couple years or every 3 years or something.
Yeah. They had that now infamous meeting, I think, where they came up with all the ideas in that coffee shop, where they came up with all the ideas for Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Cars, all their big IP, intellectual property. I think it was in that. Finding Nemo was A Bug's Life was the other one. The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Wall-E. I think they literally had a coffee.
Yeah.
And they just brainstormed and they came up with all those ideas. Also, Pixar. I mean, they did lose
John Lasseter, and this is what I was gonna ask you. Is we haven't heard who's running Pixar right now.
No,
I don't think it's Andrew Stanton, and I don't think it's Pete Docter.
Well, I think it's kind of. I think they're kind of doing it all together.
Yeah,
I think they're kind of all working on it together. Their president is. Who is their president? I'm not sure actually. I think it's they're just kind of all working on that.
Jim Morris.
Is it Jim Morris?
Yeah. He began working at Pixar in 2005.
Yeah. But because John Lasseter was always the kind of face of Pixar. But I think Pete Docter and Andrew Stanton were there at the very beginning, so they're still there.
Yeah. It's a shame John Lasseter was a little too hands-on, touchy-feely because
Yeah.
he built like I don't know if you ever watched the short documentary called The Pixar Story.
No, I haven't.
It's good. It goes through like the Walt Disney Animation Studios, how like the 7 grumpy old men trained them all in Class 1A113. Yeah. So yeah, you know what? I could see that happening.
I heard Fred Savage might run it. He loves his jokes.
Family.
Right, what's next on the docket, or did we finish with that?
How you feeling?
I'm quite tired.
Yeah.
But I think that took it out of me talking about Disney. Made me quite depressed.
Yeah. I was thinking we can end on a high note, but I'm not sure.
Okay, do we have a high note? Here we go. Illuminati. Should we end on this?
There's a high note. There's
There you
Eddie
go.
Hall. Reese, how's that fight going? If you're still listening.
Yeah, Doctor Strange 2 confirms Illuminati MCU debut. So we kind of knew this already, but there's a big spread in Empire magazine all about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I'll be right back.
Yep. If you scroll down that article, which I'm going to have to find myself, basically there's some guy on Twitter that had very eagle eyes, and if you go down in the article to the tweet that this guy posted, he was able to see that the basically in the image that they in Empire magazine they put an image of Doctor Strange, and it's like an image from the movie, and they put everyone that's in that image, and it starts off with Benedict. It says Benedict Wong returns as Sorcerer Supreme. Wong, Rachel McAdams as Stephen Strange's former sweetheart Christine Palmer. Strange stands before the Illuminati, is what it says in that caption. And so the caption basically confirmed that the Illuminati are going to be in this movie. We kind of knew this already because we heard the voice of Sir Patrick Stewart in the trailer, and putting 2 and 2 together, you could think that all Patrick Stewart's probably playing a variant of Professor X in this movie. And it looks like Stephen Strange is having to answer to some sort of panel. Well, not really a panel. What's the word? I kept on you. Some sort of group of people that are in charge of something, and I'm forgetting what that word is. But it's late for me. I'm sorry. But there have been rumors about who could be on this council. Sorry, the some sort of council. Rumors who could be on this council. There have been rumors that Black Bolt might be coming back, probably played by Anson Mount. Wolverine has been suggested, but I don't think he'd be in the Illuminati. Reed Richards and even Iron Man popping up. A lot of people saying there are rumors that Tom Cruise could be playing a version of Iron Man in this movie, which would be really weird, but also quite fun. But yeah, so the Illuminati is something that I think a lot of Marvel fans have wanted to see for quite some time. But let's have a look at what you guys say in the chat. So
Blade.
Is Blade's another one that might be on in the Illuminati?
Well, yeah, I watched the trailer again, and the person walking across people in the chairs has a sword. Just
so
like
you think that's Blade?
It could be. Yeah, could be.
Chrysler says massive misdirection happening as usual.
Could be.
But then again,
it could all take place in the Savage Land.
Then again, this is Empire Magazine, and Empire Magazine, they tend to be pretty much spot on with stuff that they put in there. It could very well be a mistake, but
I don't see how that could be a mistake.
Yeah, because I mean, I've worked at Empire Magazine. These magazines, they go over them again and again and again, and they go over them specifically. This one would have been looked at by so many people at Marvel. So before this was ever put out, like that would have been picked up. Someone would have been like, you can't put the Illuminati in there. Either they're not in the movie, or we don't want people knowing they're in the movie. They're in the movie. The mere fact that Sir Patrick Stewart's back, he'll probably be one of the main members of the Illuminati in this movie.
Well, they showed it, right?
Yeah, well, they heard, you heard him. You didn't see him. You heard him. Said, we have to tell him the truth. The only thing I can say in a Patrick Stewart voice is Logan. Logan. This may be the Illuminati. Okay, yeah, they're the chairs, right? So who do you think's there?
This
The guy
person right here. He's got like the
blade.
Yeah. If you watch it, it's more clear.
One of them looks like the Mandalorian.
What if it's Boba Fett?
Maybe it's Boba Fett, yeah. So Krista thinks the entire trailer is full of misdirection. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I also think most of this trailer is probably only from like the first half of like the first like 30 minutes of the movie. Yeah. I mean, the Spider-Man trailers, they did put the end in it and it completely messed it up because of that Brazilian version of the trailer that that was good.
And the fact that the lizard gets kicked by an invisible person.
Krista says the sword guy's Mordo.
You know what?
It could be.
That makes sense, but
that makes sense.
We'll have to see if he's wearing a trench coat or not.
I
don't know. I'd like it to be Wesley Snipes.
Oh, it's not good. Do you reckon it'll be Wesley Snipes?
Variant, yeah.
It'd be cool.
And I want to see Captain America meet Johnny Storm from the Fox Fantastic Four movies.
The other thing you have to remember, I think this particular scene was filmed in London, in one of. So you gotta think about who was in London at the time.
Why green screens?
You reckon it's all green? It could be green screens, yeah. That's true.
Well, Marvel movies are 90% green screens, man.
Yeah. Well, especially I don't know if do you watch those VFX artist reacts videos where they talk to the people that
I know you do. You watch them all the time.
Yeah,
you like watching talking heads.
You are such a creeper, man. You creep on because you have access to small screens YouTube.
It's not be creeping.
It is be creeping.
No,
you know everything.
I'll log in to check analytics or whatever, and it shows up in the bottom right hand corner. Now playing. You know, so it's like if I'm like doing work and I go to YouTube, check the analytics or to upload something or to change monetization or whatever, and then it says now playing. I'm like, oh, that's why Edward didn't get back to me because he's watching this Hasanabi guy or whatever.
I don't watch him that much.
I know. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, you made it. I watch a lot at the moment. I've been watching a lot of a guy called Alex Melton. He does.
I don't know who that is.
He does covers and he does like country songs and like a lot of Blink 182 songs. If Blink 182 was country, it's quite funny.
Yeah, no, that's why I know because it shows up in the bottom right hand corner saying now playing, and it's like I wish I could just switch what you're watching. Like I can do on like my neighbor's Amazon Fire Stick because we're all on the same network. So I'll just put like a random YouTube video if she's got like calming music on or something.
There's nothing dodgy there, is there? That I watched on YouTube. It's all like
no, there's nothing dodgy.
No,
I wouldn't tell you if there was, anyways.
There isn't though. It's funny thing because I'm always like I remember because I told Alessia I was like, yeah, he has access to my YouTube account, and she's like, what if you're watching something slightly dodgy? I was like, why would I be watching something dodgy on YouTube? All I watch is like talking head videos, tech videos, and yeah, that's about it. And comedy videos, a lot of Trevor Noah. It's funny though. I go through phases. Like there was a time when I was watching everything and anything about the war in Ukraine, and then that kind of depressed me too much, so I kind of stopped. But you definitely have a good idea of what I'm all about just by looking at my YouTube history.
I like going through my history, like from like a year ago or whatever, because I was looking for a music video that I used to listen to all the time. I couldn't find it last week.
Well, what is it?
It's called "This Is a Lull" by
This Is a Lull.
Run Toto Run Music. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And it's basically just the three band members. They're not together anymore. They mysteriously disappeared. But like three band members shot in a green screen, and what they did was they had the song when they filmed it. They had the song speed up and slow down, right?
Yeah.
So they lip sync to that, and then when they did it in post, they reversed it. So like the lip syncing is spot on for the sped up, and then their bodies are moving fast, right?
That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the best music videos I've seen for low budget and using the maximum amount of editing techniques in a clever way. So, but yeah, Paulo says I thought Logan wasn't as good as the Wolverine because the tone is totally different than the previous version of Wolverine. Love your stream, small screens.
Small screens. That's the sequel. That's the James Cameron sequel. Bring it all back. We're just going to be action. Snyderverse news. Well, it was trending again on Twitter.
Yep.
Restore the Snyderverse was trending again. I don't have the numbers for it though. Someone asked about the numbers. Any stats? I think it was doing pretty well. A lot of it had to do with the actor, wasn't it? The Green Lantern actor. Now,
it was also the 1 year anniversary.
It's the 1 year anniversary, but it didn't.
And David Ayer, his reaction was just like kind of a blushing face when he saw a plane with the flag that said Snyderverse plus Ayer cut. Yeah.
And Wayne T. Carr shared an image of himself as Green Lantern as well. People really liked it. He does look good as Green Lantern, I have to say. It's a shame we didn't really get to see that. But what's gonna Snyderverse, restore the Snyderverse is something that a lot of people really want to see happen, but I honestly don't know if it is going to happen.
If it does, like we said before, it's not going to be like at least 5 years, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, just one of those things you gotta, and I get people still constant, they still want to see it, and that's good because you fight for what you want, but also I wouldn't get too upset or angry if it doesn't happen. At least you did get to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I still think was one of the best films of last year. I really love that movie.
I would like to see Snyder do Justice League 2 and 3. I would like to see that. But again, I don't think it's going to happen within 5 years. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Don't go chasing waterfalls, guys.
I don't want that song stuck in my head.
I always just think of Michael Keaton in The Other Guys. He just keeps on saying, what's the name of the band? Is it TLC? TLC just keeps on saying TLC lyrics and claims he's never heard of TLC. It's hilarious. It's so funny. I love Michael Keaton. Chris says manage expectations. Exactly, manage expectations. I think that's what we all got to do. Yeah, get excited when something's happening. Don't get nasty when something's not. Be kind to everyone.
And I do think that moving forward, there's more opportunities for us to do things like this.
And right. Should we end the stream? Oh, I forgot about that.
Kaz did a really good Green Lantern CG animation, eh?
What?
Right here.
Yeah. Ooh, is it coming? That is really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Right. Who else should we round? Yes, be excellent to each other. Be excellent. Yeah. I am crashing now, so I got to go to bed.
Burger.
Oh, there we go. There he is.
All right. Yeah. Time to end it.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Sorry about the time code last week, and sorry about the time code this week. I'll try and rewatch the stream and get the time code chapters up. Last week is like 3.5 hours, and I remember
that was a long one. Yeah.
2 hour and 45-minute mark. I'm like, God damn. Yeah.
Bedtime for me.
Okay. Where can everyone find you, Edward?
EJ Lauder. And at small screen. There I am.
Great.
In my old studio. And that's Robocop.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
You can find me at 42.com.
Family.
Oh, that's the old one.
That's
Thank you,
the-
Curtis.
Family.
Yeah, I'm very busy. What's going on?